All right, fastest 15 minutes in social media, fastest 15 minutes on the internet. My name is Judson Powell. Just got finished eating dinner, and then my son came and he was standing there, and we were talking about, well, at dinner we were talking about like, um, what's wrong with the different religions and spirituality and all this kind of stuff, because nowadays I really don't, I don't get as upset as I used to, and I don't like go into the arguments and stuff like I used to. I used to be on with the whole armor of God, but at this point, and so I was thinking about something that I said to myself. I was like, before I said it to my family, I was like, one of the major things that we assume, especially people that are into religion or in that kind of stuff, one of the things that they assume is that and this is like expounding on my world travels, like going different places in the world, or knowing other people that have gone different places in the world and talking with them. And one of the things that I notice is that people really, a lot of people don't want to be like us. They don't want to be like Americans. They really don't. And I think that's like one of the biggest misconceptions. I think that people like the money and the idea that they could be free to do what they want to do and make money how they want to make money. But I don't really think that in the final analysis that they really care like to be like us. They don't, they're not lining up to say, oh, I want everything to be, but they do like the amenities and all that kind of stuff. They like that stuff. But and especially like in Africa, they have fun. They don't care. They're not trying to do all the stuff that we do. They're content with the way that they live. They really are. And so when you come over there, you be like, talk about, have you given your life to Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior of your life, and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of times they do it just because they want to be, they do want to be like the Americans. But a lot of times it's like it's not met with that type of reception. So, so that's just something to think about. It's like everybody don't want to be like you and everybody don't want to be like me. I realize that. The same thing, and that's like when it comes down to a lot of people when they're beefing and all that kind of stuff. It's ridiculous because everybody is a spiritual and a human or man, person, whatever. But you're a free agent. You can do whatever you want. So. That's one thing I just wanted to get at. So anyway, so then today I went back and I read some of the Lil Nas X stuff because that's intriguing. He gets a company to make 666 pairs of these demonic shoes with a drop of human blood, and that's the other thing. I'm wondering, is that his blood? That's the one thing the articles didn't really, the articles that I read, they didn't really say whether it was his blood or, or where they got the blood from or anything like that. And I was telling y'all yesterday, like the life force is in the blood, so, so the life of whatever it is, and then they were talking in this one article, they were talking about all of the symbolism that they were taken from demonology, from Satan worship. And because there are people, don't get me wrong, I ain't condoning it or nothing like that, but there are people that worship Satan, and a lot of them are in the music business, and a lot of them are in television, and a lot of them, are in the entertainment world. So, so you have to be, you have to be extremely careful. And what I said, was, yesterday when I was doing my own little thing, I was like, you got to be careful because you're reinforcing rituals or you're performing rituals that you don't realize that you're performing, and you pass it off. Like one of the easiest things for most people to do is pass something off as harmless. Oh, that's harmless. But if you do something enough times, it's not harmless anymore. then it starts to take on a life of its own. And there are a lot of us that are under strongholds and everything else, and and I'm not trying to preach like a Christian preacher. What I'm trying to tell you is spirituality. You can be under a stronghold very, very easily. Just like you wonder, like certain things that you can't seem to do, certain things you can't seem to produce in your life, and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of times that comes down to that you've allowed a demonic spirit to dwell within you. Yeah. And it doesn't make, and here's the other thing, it doesn't make you a bad person or, something like that. That's not what I'm saying. And please don't take it that way. The way you have to look at it is just like if you celebrate Halloween, okay, All Hallows Eve. So you celebrate Halloween, right? And you've been celebrating Halloween, say you're 30 years old now, and you've been celebrating Halloween for 25 years. And for 25 years, you've been giving credence to all of the ghosts and goblins and all the things, the ritualistic things that Halloween holds, right? The candy and the spookiness and all that kind of stuff, right? So, but then all of a sudden you change your mind and you're not down with that, but you done it already for 25 years. So you mean to tell me one night? So you mean to tell me one night is supposed to erase 25 years of stuff that you did? That's one of the hardest part about people switching from Christianity into Kemetic spirituality, because you done been practicing Christianity for so long, and this is like and you're worshiping basically a mummy or a dead person, and you're drinking his blood and eating his flesh. Break it down to what it really is and stop. We always like to sugarcoat stuff and finger paint it and everything so it looks innocent, but it's not innocent. Every time you take Holy Communion, that's why, and then they even make you afraid. The scriptures make you afraid to even take communion, and then you want to do it because they made you afraid, right? Anyone who partakes of this, unworthily and all this kind of stuff, all those scriptures, and then you're like, well, I'm worthy, I could do, and you take the communion, you take it so seriously, and then the next thing you know, you're wrapped up in the deal. And like I said, the firstborn in Egypt, the firstborn in Egypt is you. And y'all be sitting up there acting like it's somebody foreign that don't exist. No, it's you. And that's so that the supremacies, the white supremacists and the people that want to rule over you can get a foot in the door. And once they have a foot in your spiritual door, then they can do whatever they want. Same thing with Thanksgiving. You sit up there every year, and what do? You eat a feast. Think about it. You eat this feast, right? That's been prepared. You fellowship with one another and all this kind of stuff. And it's about what? It's about the death of Native Americans. And literally, who was that? Who was that comedian that was like, you hardly ever see a Native American family all together. And they got all kinds of problems: alcohol abuse, drug abuse. So do we. So do black folks. Alcohol, drug abuse, fratricide, killing each other, all that kind of stuff. We don't value each other. We don't value each other. And all of that is because of these rituals that we follow, and we think, and we tell ourselves they're harmless. Oh no, let the kids have some candy. Just go ahead, let the kids have some candy. Go ahead. Oh yeah, we're gonna have turkey and dressing and mashed potatoes and gravy and collard greens and Lord, and everything else. And what are we doing? We're giving tribute to somebody that wants us dead, that wanted us dead. You know, they put smallpox in the blankets, you know, to kill people. And they killed the very people that showed them how to farm the land, how to build on the land, everything else. They just and wiped them all out. And they still wiped out. I've been to reservations out here. There's a lot of reservations out here in Arizona. I've been to them. Guess what? It's still in bad shape. I mean, there's some of them that are living good. Don't get me wrong. And those are the ones usually that work in the casino or, you know, have some kind of management position in the casino. They live all right. But everybody else. So you got to understand, you know, and when I try to, you know, everybody want to be like, oh, you know, he's just so tough. Or no, it's not that. But it's like your spirit is fragile. Your soul is fragile. You know, that's how come you're able to, that's how come people are able to get into addictions and stuff like that so easy. Drugs, alcohol, sex, all of these different things, they get addicted to it and they get pulled in. And if you know about your chakra energy, you know which things you evolve past your lower chakras. And when you finally get to your sixth chakra, which is the pineal gland, and you open that up and you open up your third eye, and then you start to become enlightened, and things should not, at that point, they should not be able to control you. You should be able to control it. And that's what, and even the Bible and the Quran contain allusions to this, because they allude to it because of the fact that they want you to rise above your lower nature. Your Kundalini energy, your lower nature, that's the energy that you have as a baby. But by the time you're a 30, 40, 50, 60-year-old person, you should have evolved past that. And see, so that's why, you know, they can get you into certain things because you have not evolved. You haven't evolved, and that's how. So I was trying to bring Lil Nas X. Lil Nas X, he's like, look, you know, everybody, you got a catchy tune, something that catches your ear, you know, and then all this other stuff, and that's what they count on. They count on you succumbing to your lower urges. You know, that's what all the men that you know, that have, you know, that what was that dude, that Jackson dude? That's what happened. He succumbed to his lower urges. He on there preaching and teaching and this, that, and the other thing about married life, but yet and still he ain't got his own in control. And some people never get it in control. Never, ever. Never. So that's why there's a huge difference. And religion is the worst thing of all for people, because you cannot possibly, there's not a religion out here that I know of that you can possibly live up to, because it's not in your nature. All of the things that go against religion, all the things that go against religion are in your nature. And if you don't understand your nature, and if you don't understand how to control yourself and have self-control first, and then be able to control all the energy and the vibration of your body and of your mind and of your spirit, what are you going to do? And if you're so easily swayed by another spirit, such as Lil Nas X, that's what Lil Nas X is selling. He's selling the devil. And he knows that, hey, look, if you get into this, then I'll make money and I'll take your money. Anyway, Fastest 15 Minutes is up. That's what it's about, y'all. Fastest 15 Minutes is up. My name is Judson Powell. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Please leave me a note. whatever. I love y'all. Hit the love button. Love button.